Resume. Wait, the meeting is now being recorded. So I'm trying to do a million things at once here. For those online, we can see you on our screen in front of us here, and I think everyone can see you as well behind us. So, you know, please feel free to put your hands up at any point if you want to take the floor. And obviously, for those of you in the room, please let us know if you want to take the floor at any point as well, okay? And we'll, you know, that's all through the agenda that counts. So that's the way we'll do it. So I think the first agenda item, or the first thing we need to do, is adopting the agenda. So are there any objections or any questions about the agenda for today? And I'll obviously run through it on the slide here as well. I see none. I don't actually, oh, where's my hammer? Oh, it's because we're in a different room. I normally have a little hammer. Okay, that'll do. Okay. The next item is the roll call, but what we always do with this is we'll circulate that with the minutes, because I don't want to stand here and read out the names of 200 NGOs, especially as I will probably pronounce about 180 of them wrong. So just to save me the embarrassment. So we'll send that out with the minutes. You'll see the full list of everyone in good standing who is attending. Approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Are there any? These have been circulated. They're available online. Any questions or any objections to the minutes from the last meeting? None? Okay, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And apologies for absence. The main apology I had was from our board member, Heloisa, who wasn't able to travel. She's currently based in China and was unable to travel in time for the CND. So she sends her apologies, but she's with us in spirit. And I thought I might have actually seen her join online. So she may even be, I hope she is online with us. I think I did see her join. So Heloisa, if you are there, I don't know if you want to say hello quickly. Maybe we lost her again. Okay, no, not to worry. But Heloisa
I'm here. Hello. Yes.
Hey. Okay, thanks, Heloisa.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Lovely to see you, Heloisa. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you too.
And yeah, and any other apologies for absence that had been noted will be added to the minutes as well. Okay. So the other items on the agenda today, just as you can see here on the slide, we are going to go through an update on our membership, just to let you know how that's progressing. And Azia is going to take you through that as the secretary. We're going to give you a very quick run through of what we've been up to as a committee and as a board over the last 12 months. So we have just a few slides that Matej will guide us through just to update you. We're then going to have a look at the finances, as we always do at an AGM. We'll present to you what we've been spending and what our budget is for the coming year. We will then need to appoint a new auditor for the coming 12 months. So have a think early now if that's something that interests you and you want to help us out with that position. And then we're going to discuss a proposal that has been circulated again in advance. It's something that has been proposed by the board after we discussed it at our face-to-face meeting in September. So this was circulated alongside all the other documents. It's available on the website, and we're going to discuss that today. And if necessary, we'll also have a vote on that. And for those who have picked up your envelope, one of the slips in there will be for that agenda item if we need it. We'll then have an update from our colleagues from UNODC and the Civil Society Unit. And Billy, hello, nice to see you here. And then we'll move to the actual board elections. And then after the board elections, we'll talk about the next year's nominations committee. So again, we're looking for volunteers for that committee. So please let us know when we get to agenda item 13, if you're interested in helping us out in that role. And then as always, there'll be time at the end for any other business, okay? Any other questions about the agenda? No, okay. Thanks everyone. So I'll hand straight over to Azia, who's going to take us through just a quick update of where we are in terms of the membership numbers and the balance of the membership as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. And I welcome you all. As a representative of a civil society, our goal is to ensure more engagement and participation of civil society organizations. So VNGOC has 365 member organizations from 100 countries. You can see the full list at our website and the link is there. Since March 2022, board has welcomed 25 new member organizations from 22 different countries. And you can see that there are more member organizations from Asia and Africa, and we keep it going with your cooperation and support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to click this link and hopefully it will take me to the list of the new members. Oh, it's not, is that not sharing? Okay. Okay, hang on. Let me try. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to share the right screen with you all. Please work, please work, please work. Yay. Okay. So I know it's small, but this is the table, but again, it's available on the website. But this is the list of the new members we have welcomed. You can see they're coming from all around the world, which is fantastic. Let me just scroll down there. And these are all members that we have welcomed since the last AGM. So it's been a very, very good year in terms of increasing the size and the reach and the representation that we have. So yeah, thanks, Asia. Thank you. So let me stop sharing that. This is my first time ever using a Mac. Okay, has that worked? Okay. Okay, so any questions about membership? No? Okay. And if you do know any organizations that are not members, please encourage them to join. It's the same with any NGO committee or network. The bigger we are, the stronger we are, and the more representative we are. So, also have a look at our website where there's the full list of all the members. And if you see that we don't have any members from a certain country and you know that you have NGO partners in that country, please put us in touch with them. And we'd love to reach out because we really want to try and represent as many as we can when we're here at the CND. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Matej, who's going to take us through some of the work we've been doing over the last 12 months. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, as usual, we were quite active also in the last year. As you can see, we held 7 online and hybrid events. And one of the most important tasks of Vienna NGO Committee Board is also to select speakers for different events. So we were able to select 28 different civil society speakers for 5 different meetings. And
yeah, that's it.
Okay, it works. So we also organized 3 webinars in the first half of 2022 on different topics, and also informal meeting in February last year, which was a kind of preparation meeting for last year's CND, which was organized in hybrid format. We were quite happy last year that still a lot of NGOs, civil society organizations appeared in person in Vienna. But this year we are back to normal, so we see also a presence here in this room. So we are back on track like before COVID. And also we were very active at 65th CND in March with 2 Vienna NGO committee statements, 9 co-sponsored or co-sponsored side events, 4 informal dialogues, an annual general assembly, and coordination of different civil society statements. There was also, Asian Pacific Working Group also prepared a common position and presented this common position, including on the CND at side event. Okay, next. After the CND last year, we organized INCB Civil Society hearing in May. Special CND event. We participated also at a special CND event on June 26th with our statement and selection of 3 civil society speakers at the launch of the World Drug Report 2022. And in July, we organized a webinar on World Drug Report in 4 different languages, and which allowed a lot of different civil society organizations to discuss the World Drug Report from last year. Okay, so Vienna NGO Committee's board met in person in margins of last year's CND meeting to work on upcoming activities. There was also, together with UNODC and NGO Alliance, we organized a synthetic drug consultation in hybrid format on the UNODC's synthetic drug strategy. And I also know that a lot of NGOs participated in person at that event here in Vienna. And also for the thematic intersessionals, we were also very active. We selected 10 civil society speakers for the two-day intersessional meeting as well. So as you can see, a lot of different activities in last year. So hopefully that we will be even more active in the future years to come.
Thank you very much, Matej. Thank you. Any questions about VNGOC's work or any questions about the annual report or any of the work we've been doing? No? Okay. So it wouldn't be an AGM without us plugging the marketplace. We're contractually obliged by UNODC to plug the marketplace. So it's just another call really to use this resource. And it's something that we see getting used more and more. I get the email every Monday morning that tells me the latest updates. And it's great to hear from, you know, what some NGOs are doing. And they're not NGOs that I would normally, I'm not on their mailing list. So I wouldn't know what they were doing if it wasn't for the marketplace. It literally takes minutes to sign up. So if you are on there, please use it to promote your reports, your work, your meetings, your videos, anything else that you're doing. And if you're not on there, please just take a couple of minutes, sign up. And then it means that people can see who you are, what your organization does, and can connect with you if they want to as well. So please do use that as a resource. It's still something that we're very proud of as the Vienna NGO Committee. So the other key thing we've been doing and continue to do is this idea of the working groups. And as Azia said, with the expansion of the membership, I honestly believe that a big part of that expansion is because of the working groups that we've had. And in particular, we've had the working group in Africa release their common position a few years ago. And they've been in constant discussions, and actually here at the CND this week, had a meeting with the Africa Union as well. And they're looking to actually turn what was an ad hoc working group from the VNGOC, also with the initiative of Slum Child Foundation and others, they're looking to turn that now into an actual platform for civil society to engage with the Africa Union. So that's really fantastic development, and we're so proud to have kind of been a part of that. And we will continue to support that, you know, as much as they need support, we'll continue to help with that as we go. The Asia Pacific Working Group, I'll hand over to Penny, who kind of led on that. So
yeah, thanks, Jamie. It's been a pleasure to lead the Asia Pacific Working Group over the last couple of years. As Matej has said, we launched our common position at CND last year, and we had our colleague Sana from Pakistan announce the launch of that common position in the plenary. We held a side event, and we also had the opportunity to introduce the common position as an NGO paper. We've had a very busy year with the working group. Azia is on the working group as well. And we also had the opportunity to make an intervention about the common position at the thematic intersessional that was done by our colleague Augusto from Macau. And we do have another side event coming up tomorrow morning, which I do need to plug. So 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, maybe not the best time slot here, but it is a preferred time slot of our colleagues from the region. So please come along to MOE 79 for 8 o'clock for that side event, which will focus on showcasing and implementing the common position. And since our very fruitful consultations in 2021, we have stayed together as a working group, and we've stayed very busy, and we've wanted to make sure we keep having more and more opportunities for perspectives from the region to be shared with the broader VNGOC membership. So we held a webinar a couple of weeks ago focused on the Southeast Asia region and we have another one coming up in a couple of weeks on the South Asia region. And really just want to encourage particularly any new members from the region to get in touch, join the working group. We're very happy to continue discussions and make sure that we continue that platform for voices from the Asia Pacific region to feed into the broader discussion.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Penny. And yeah, as I say, we're really happy with the work that those working groups have done on their own initiative as well, which is great. And we've actually, as you know, in the last 12 months, we've also kick-started a Latin America working group, which we're hoping will have the same impact. It hasn't really started properly yet, but we're hoping that it will get moving this year. And they're going to be doing all their meetings and discussions in obviously Spanish and Portuguese, which is fantastic. And then we also now, as of this week, have a youth working group as well. I think this was something that was suggested at a members meeting last year, right? And we're really pleased to be able to put that together as well. So Trixie, do you want to tell us a few more words about that?
Yes, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, as you mentioned, the idea for a youth working group that is similar to the regional working groups was proposed by a member organization at our informal meeting at the thematic intersessionals last September. And I'm really happy to say that yesterday we had a first initial meeting. Quite a lot of participants, I think over 30, came together to kind of discuss what we could do within this youth working group format. But essentially, we're going to follow the example of the regional working groups that the members are going to be free to decide kind of what format we want to continue working together, what our product would be. And yeah, similarly to the regional working groups, there's no need to be an official member of the Vienna NGO committee. It is open to everyone. For now, we have set an age limit of 18 to 32 for this youth working group, but that's also up to the working group to kind of define what youth-led and youth-focused participation means. So we are very excited about what this platform can do, and again, encourage everyone to reach out and join if it's of interest. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Trixie. That's great. Any questions about the working groups, or anyone else who is hearing about this for the first time and wants to be part of one of those working groups? Please, yeah.
Yeah, it's a question, Jimmy. Thank you for the hard work. But we are thinking about having some common position in Middle East and North Africa, and maybe the Arab League. So we need your support in this. And the other question is regarding to the youth working group, how we can be involved in, because our region has been left behind for long time back, for decades maybe. So what we shall do to be a part of the youth working group, which we asked for it last year, you remember that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, no, first of all, idea for a Middle East North Africa working group, I'm fully support that. That's great. So we'll add that to the new board. We'll add that to their work plan from tomorrow onwards. But that's a really fantastic idea, and thank you for that. Trixie, do you want to? I mean, the youth working group is still open, right? Anyone can.
Yes, it's still open. We're going to be reaching out. I think we're going to be sharing the notes from this initial meeting where we outlined some ideas with the entire membership, and it's open to join for everyone. Kind of what we agreed on for now is that we're going to continue this discussion initially in an online format. So yeah, we look forward to everyone joining.
So if there are youth candidates or organizations or representatives that are 18 to 32, I think you said, then please, put them in touch with Trixie, and we'll make sure they're part of that. If they want to be part of that, then they're very welcome. It's a very open process. So yeah, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay. So the next thing we had.
Yes.
Oh, online. Yes, Femi, please, over to you.
Thank you so much for the privilege, and I quite want to appreciate your effort in this system. I do not know presently the status of our organization. We have applied for membership since last year. That is a Rural and Urban for Youth Development Initiative from Africa, from Nigeria, Africa. We do not presently know our status, and we would have loved to do more, especially contributing in that working group that you have just mention and be involved in the activity of VNGOC.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Femi. I honestly, I can't comment on the exact status. So that's something we'll have to defer to Sarah. But you obviously, it's great that you're here, and I really appreciate you joining the meeting today. For the working group is not limited to VNGOC members, so anyone can join. So Femi, what we can do is put you in connection with our colleagues in Africa who are running that working group, and make sure that you're added to the necessary emails and added to that discussion. Would that be okay, Femi?
Yes, go ahead. I will quite appreciate that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. Heloisa, did you want to take the floor as well?
Oh, yes, please. I just wanted to give a quick update on the Latin American Working Group.
Okay.
We met a couple of weeks ago, yeah, and the group decided to have a common position. So we are working on that, and we have the deadline as next CND. So just before that.
Okay, that's fantastic. So we will be working towards the Latin America common position. That's really great news. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Heloisa. And again, if there's any members here from Latin America and the Caribbean who want to be part of that conversation, you know where we are, just let us know. And that's something that we're doing alongside the New York NGO Committee on Drugs as well. So that's a joint committee. I don't know if Ernesto is here. Ernesto's co-chairing that with Heloisa. So if anyone is interested in being part of that, again, please let us know. It's an open invitation, as all of these things always are. Okay, moving on then. Matej has already kind of mentioned our speaker selections. We have, again, this is probably the most difficult thing that the board has to do. And probably the one that keeps us the busiest, especially when there's these opportunities where we can select just one or two speakers, and it's not unusual for us to receive 30, 40, 50 applications from people to speak. So I think the first thing I want to say is, a huge thank you to everyone who applies, because for us, it's really useful because it shows that the demand is there. It shows that people want to be speaking at these opportunities. And it allows us to go back to the UN and the CND and the organizers of these events and really kind of say, okay, we had one speaker this time, but we had 40 applications. So next time we need more. And it allows us as a board to keep pushing, keep trying to open up even more kind of space. So we received applications for a whole host of different opportunities you can see on the slide. And they came from 56 countries around the world. The selection criteria is something that we developed a few years ago, again, alongside the New York NGO Committee. It's available online because, again, we're committed to this being transparent and being open. The thing you can't capture on paper is just how difficult it is sometimes to make a decision. And sometimes, you have 3 very strong, amazing abstracts, but they're all men from Europe. They're all white men from Europe, and you'd need to ensure more representation. So, it is a really difficult process. And I do really appreciate the understanding and the patience that everyone has with us when we're doing those selections. But overall, sneaky peek at the budget there. But overall, we were able to, as Matej mentioned earlier, we managed to pick 28 different speakers for different opportunities, despite, the lockdowns and everything else going on. 4 of those actually were able to join in person. Gender balance was not quite 50-50, but almost there. And we managed to get 28 speakers came from 19 different countries. So again, we were, there's always more we can do in terms of balance, but I think we did an okay job for the year in terms of trying to balance those opportunities out overall. I know speaker selection is a difficult process, and it's probably the process that a lot of you are most kind of involved in, because a lot of you, I can see a lot of faces in the room who have applied to speak at different times. Any comments or questions about how we go about that? No? Okay. So I will hand over then to Trixie, who's going to walk us through some of the kind of financial elements of the last 12 months. So over to you, Heloisa. Thank you.
Yes, I'll be quick. On our accounts, our 2022 accounts have been approved by our auditors. So you can see on the screen our total income of 25,000 euros, made up of membership fees that we received, UNODC grants, and some reserves that we had. Also, we started with an opening balance of 11,677 euros, and 37,759.9 dollars, as you can see, and also a total expenditure. So we basically have our reserves that we had at the beginning of the year. If we can move to the next slide, yes. So yeah, just I would take the opportunity to thank our auditors, Dr. Musa Daud and John Perry, and would like to, as the membership, if anybody would like to volunteer to be appointed to the position of auditor to review our annual accounts, as one of our auditors is transitioning out of it this year. So maybe with a show of hands, if anybody would like to volunteer to be our auditor.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to just take a microphone and introduce yourself?
Yes.
If you don't mind, yeah, just again, also for people online. So ironically, I had my mic off.
Amy King, Fields of Green for All, and I would be interested in that. I have a background in bookkeeping and taxation, but not too much the European.
Okay. Thank you. That would be, thank you for your offer. That's great. Thank you. Any other volunteers? We have, well, okay. We only need, well, we have two, don't we? So we just need a third. Samir, you want to do it as well? Yeah, okay. Do you want to take the microphone, just introduce yourself quickly?
Sana from Pakistan.
Okay.
Great, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the first time we've ever had more than one candidate. So that's fantastic news. Yeah. You want to take the floor? Would you like to as well? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And we'd like to hear from the current auditor as well. Would you like to just reflect on the accounts? I can put them back up and just let us know from your side.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy. I go through the whole and find details with the accounts, and I would like to approve it. Thank you.
Okay. And also just to let you know, because some of the nominations committee are walking around the room at the moment. In each of your envelopes, you've got one of the slips in there is for the deputy secretary ballot. Okay. There's actually a mistake on that piece of paper. So what is happening right now is the nominations committee are coming around to each of you one by one. They're going to take that piece of paper off you and give you the correct one. Yeah, it's going to be a one-to-one exchange for that piece of paper. Can someone let me know what color the deputy?
Orange.
It's the green one, is it? Deputy secretary, is that the one that's wrong? Okay. They're going to come round and they're going to replace that piece of paper for you. They're doing it now so it can all be done in time. Okay. Thank you to everyone who caught that mistake. Okay. What's she doing? The deputy treasurer sheet. Okay. So Amy is coming round to all of you. She will give you a new deputy treasurer sheet. You don't need to go to her. She'll come to you. She'll give you a new sheet and she'll take your old one back. And that way, by doing it in exchange, we can make sure that there's the right amount in the room. Okay. So just to explain what's happening behind you, particularly the guys at the front. Okay. So thank you, everyone. So yeah, we'll go on to the budget for the coming year.
Yes, thank you again to all of the volunteers for auditor. Yeah, we never have such enthusiasm.
Sorry, guys.
For it.
Can we have your attention, please, at the front? Please. Yeah, that's why I need a hammer. Come on. Okay, thanks everyone. Sorry, Trixie, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jamie. And good luck to the nominations committee. Yeah, as you can see, our planned budget for 2023 up on the screen, including the planned income, estimated income, and our planned expenditure, or work plan. In terms of the budget would be to provide resources and support to develop NGO capacities to engage with relevant UN bodies, try to identify and then take advantage of new and also existing opportunities for NGO engagement, advocate for more inclusion of NGOs in international debates, and overall to present a global and balanced NGO voice on drug policy at national, regional, and international events. And also some of our budget, of course, goes towards the effective and efficient management and promotion of the committee itself. I don't know if anybody has any questions regarding our accounts or budget for the year, but this is the opportunity to ask those questions.
Thank you, Trixie. So any questions about the budget we're proposing for the coming year? I mean, it should look pretty familiar to most of you that have been to these meetings before. Any questions? No? Okay, then we'll move on. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. So this takes us on now to the proposal that the board has discussed and would like to put forward to you. We did circulate this proposal quite a few weeks ago. We also discussed it very briefly at the informal members meeting that we had earlier this year. And let me just give you a quick update on kind of what is kind of being proposed. So when we redid the statutes and we relaunched the rules of procedure, we had a membership structure that was dependent on the income level of your organization. That was something that I think, you know, most people agreed was a fair system to use, you know, and that those organizations with the biggest budgets should make a larger contribution. As part of that, we had the bottom category was a non-paying membership, a free membership category. That was for organizations whose annual income is below 10,000 euros. So it's quite a low threshold. But what we've seen since 2018 is that the percentage of our members, new and existing, that use that category has actually increased from around 20% up to more than 50%. So as you can imagine, that has a big impact on our income as a committee, and also has like a kind of governance impact as well if the majority of your voting members are not actually paying members. Instead of paying, we ask those members to complete a commitment form, just a simple A4 form that at least shows us that they are still actively engaged in the work of the committee. In essence, I mean, the proposal is available online. You can even, if you're younger and trendier than me, you can use the QR code on the slide above. But the proposal is online with all the details. But basically, what we're suggesting as a board is that we'd like to change, we want to keep the principle that the amount you pay depends on your income level. But instead of having a non-paying membership category, we have a very low annual fee of just 30 euros. With all of these categories, I know it only says it in that top one, but with all of these categories, we do, if it's at all possible, we do prefer payment via PayPal. And the main reason being that it costs us a lot less to receive that money than the bank. The banks are charging us, and I know a lot of you will be very familiar with this problem. The bank's charges are very high, particularly for an international network receiving funds from all over the world. So PayPal is definitely preferred, particularly if you're outside the EU. I think within the EU, the bank charges are pretty reasonable. But what we propose is that for those members with the lowest income category, that there is a fee, but a very modest, very low, and hopefully reasonable membership fee for them to pay. As you know, to be a member in good standing, which means you get to vote, you get your envelope, and that means that you've paid your membership fee for the current year and the last year, okay? This proposal does not affect this year. It does not affect these elections. This would come into action in 2024, okay? So we are not suggesting that anything changes for this election and for this AGM, okay? This is for the future. But as a board, we felt that this was important to future-proof the organization, to help us with our finances as an organization, and also, you know, to really return it to the original principles that we had when we set this thing up. The other thing I would say, and I think this is fair, you know, I'm looking at the board, as a VNGOC board, we're 6 volunteers. We can't do a financial investigation on every new member that applies. You know, we take you on your word. We have to take you on your word. So if an organization tells us that their income is under 10,000 euros, unless we know otherwise somehow, we have to take you on that word. And you know, I think that's been a real challenge for us as a board, you know, because it's really difficult. There's just no way of knowing, you know. So the whole thing is reliant on good faith, you know, and we do rely, not just for that bottom category, but for all of those categories, we rely on you in good faith to let us know where your NGO belongs. Yeah. So as I said, I mean, well, first of all, let me throw it open. Let me take any questions or comments or concerns people may have, please. Over to you.
Of course, I like and appreciate the idea, but there's so maybe even some that can't even do that. So I would be supportive of this with the caveat that the board set up a line item for donations for a scholarship for organizations to apply that the board chooses. And I would, if that was to be agreed upon, I would be the first to donate 300 to 500 euros for that scholarship.
So there could be a fund where if you're unable to reach this membership fee, but you want to join the VNGOC, you can apply to that fund.
Apply for a scholarship.
Yeah.
That you guys set up, you do, or set up a committee or whatever.
I like the idea, because then this still applies, but it means that no one is, you know, but we really want to set this up so that no one is left out. It's not in our interest as an NGO committee to lock anyone out. We want as many members as we can.
Looks great.
So yeah, no, I think that's a lovely idea. I really support that, and I think that's something we could definitely go with. Matters. Yeah, thank you.
And you know, John, all the fees are minimum, so it doesn't say it's maximum. So everybody with a bigger budget can pay more for the membership fee, and we will definitely use this money for activities and maybe also scholarship.
Yeah, there's always been a donation system in that we accept donations. That's always been in place. But no,
I didn't know that.
We've definitely said that. No, but I think, yeah, let's follow up on that idea, because I think that would be a very nice thing to accompany this. I think that's a great idea. Thank you, John. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I like that idea as well, but short of having that, is there some modification that you could make to the membership form in the commitment form? Or the way you're going to change it to ask for 30 instead of nothing, which was just the commitment form, to say, if your NGO has financial whatever, and you need a special consideration, because the ones that do fall under the under 10,000 that can pay will pay, and maybe bring that number back down in the 20% where it used to be.
Yeah, so I think one way for that to work would be that I think on the membership page there can be a notice, and I think you keep it separate. So when these organizations, so say an organization does apply for the scholarship and then joins, they are still paying the 30 euro fee. They're just getting it through the scholarship fund. So this still applies, yeah, but they're just getting the money through the fund. And I think we could put something on the membership page, or even create a new page, Sarah, that is about how to access the fund. Because also, thinking about it, that fund should also be open to existing members who might be having a financial crisis. I mean, we are civil society, my God, that happens, you know? So, you know, I think that could also be a possibility, but the proposal would stay as it is, because they'd still be paying their fee. They would just be accessing it through through the John Fund.
Because one of the orgs that I work with actually fell into that, and the 60 was just too much for us today. And so in my head, I was still thinking 20 was something that I could afford right now to straighten that out. So the other thing I might say is maybe 20 might be the.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about how low is the low. But I think with the banking fees as they are, actually, honestly, if we were to get a 20 euro payment, it would cost us more than 20 euros to receive the payment in some cases, particularly from some parts of the world. So 30, I think, would be still the proposed minimum. But yeah, I really like the idea. I think it's a very, very nice idea. And that's something I think we can definitely do. So yeah, thank you. Thank you both. Any other questions? Esbjørn, please.
Yeah, I like when people are solidaric and so on, but to put another issue on the board table to decide about grants for, as John did right now, that we give you money and then you have to select and decide. I should hesitate a little bit, I must say, before taking that decision. I like the idea of a fund, but to have the board to run it, that might be some problems. Thank you.
As someone who is going to be on the board more than an hour, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, but that's because this is the plan from 2024. So I think we still have some time until then to discuss about some rules and procedures, how to proceed with these scholarships or donations. So I think this is one of the tasks for the next board for sure.
Yeah.
To decide, and then we can also have in autumn extraordinary AGM or meeting and decide about the rules for the next year. So still enough time to proceed with this.
And I would say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I would say it doesn't necessarily change this proposal on the table now, but I think we can proceed on the understanding that we'll make that happen. Yeah, and we'll work out exactly, as you say, Esbjørn, the right mechanism and the right level and the right criteria for that support. I promise that is a deal. Yes. Yeah. By the way, if anyone gives me $300 at any point, you can have a lunch with Jamie. I'm just throwing that out. Yeah. I'm very cheap, John. You've gone way too high there. I'm sorry, way too high. Any other questions or comments or thoughts on the proposal? No? Okay. So we do all have ballot papers in our envelopes, but I hope you'll kind of just bear with me because I just want to get a sense of the room and get a feel of do we need to use them or can we disagree this as a committee? Okay. Can I get a show of hands in the room? Okay, and this is just, I'm going to ask the board to help me out here. Okay, this is just to give us an indication. Can I get a show of hands in the room who supports this proposal as it's currently sat with John's addition? Okay. Can I also now ask if there's anyone in the room, please put your hand up if you oppose the proposal as it's currently presented with the John Fund. Anyone who would like to formally let us know that they abstain from the decision? Okay, I'm pretty confident then, but I think we can adopt this. Okay, that was actually unanimous in the room. We haven't had any, how did the online voting on this go? Majority voted pro online as well, because obviously they did that in advance for those who aren't here. So I wish I had a hammer. Okay, so your phone, bang, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I think we adopt that as a committee. So thank you very much. And thanks for bearing with us on that one as well. And particular thanks for the proposal. I think that's a really, really nice idea. And Esbjørn we'll find the best way to make that happen. Yeah. I mean, my job for the next half hour is to give work to you guys. So yeah, thank you, everyone. No, I really appreciate your support on that one. So the next item on our agenda, Ben, is to get an update from our colleagues and friends at UNODC. So I don't know, Mirella or Billy, does one of you would you like to come up here? You're very welcome to.
Thank you, Jamie. Honestly, I haven't prepared anything. I know it was on the agenda, but I think you've heard so much about UNODC and our work, and that I would rather keep it short and say, considering that in a very few minutes there will be elections, say that it was great working with you, as also working with the previous chair, considering they are in the room. And the UNODC really started working better with civil society because of the Vienna NGO committee. Therefore, I consider it very important for us. As important are, by the way, UNODC work on different topics. We have a similar committee called the UNCAC Coalition to support the UN Convention Against Corruption, similarly on crime prevention and criminal justice, another umbrella organization. And that's really the only way to make sure that this very wide and diverse experience and knowledge and of NGOs on a subject matter come together, find in some cases consensus, in some other case no, but are able to convey in a coordinated manner and constructive manner to member states about what are the issues. So I just wish that we will continue to work very closely together. My unit, because I'm proud to say that since last year we are a unit. We were called some years ago division, but we didn't exist even as a unit. We were a team of few people. So at least now we are a unit, and you know us, the director of policy and public affairs, Jean-Luc Lemayeux, who's heading our division. And there's at least a lot of commitment to try to serve you, to help you. And we may not be always successful, but we can do it, especially when we work together. And I was very pleased that we could at least also celebrate it like we did yesterday at the City Hall. I know again that not everybody could make it. Also, as always, you have to. There are limits in space, and also in the UN, sometimes there is just one seat for NGOs. So it's good to be able to coordinate and make this effort to understand each other, to be able to show in one voice, with one voice, what you would like to convey. I would keep it there, but I'm very, very happy to respond if there are easy questions. Thank you.
Any easy questions for Mirella? Or any hard questions for Mirella? No. Thank you so much, Mirella. Thank you. And to Billy and everyone else as well. Thank you very much. Okay. So the next agenda item is the board elections. So before we move on to that, and before myself and Mate and Penny step off the platform here and hand over to the nominations committee, I just want to say a few kind of final words personally, as my time as chair kind of comes to an end. I had 1 minute yesterday at the reception, so I hope you'll forgive me if I take just a few more minutes of your time now. I do feel very lucky that my final year as chair was also our 40th anniversary as a committee. I count myself very lucky that way, because we're here in person, we're here in great numbers. It's so brilliant to see you all here. And it means I've also, been able to share the week with the former chairs as well. And also in memory of Ava Tong, who was the founding chair at the very beginning of the committee. And it would have broken my heart if we were doing all this on Zoom. And I got halfway through my speech and someone went, "You're on mute." So I'm really glad that we're doing it in person. I really am. A lot of people have been saying to me, kind of, how do you feel stepping down? And it's made me kind of think about it. But honestly, I just feel a huge sense of pride and gratitude. It's a real honor to be on this board. It is. It's great to represent you guys. You're going to have to stop. I've got more. We'll never get through it. We'll be here too long. I've been on the board for 6 and a bit years. I think we worked it out. 5 as chair and one and a bit as treasurer. And it feels weird because like we lost some of those years to COVID and doing everything online. And I don't know how others feel, but because of COVID, time doesn't have any meaning anymore to me. But I think, we have continued to make a lot of progress over those years. We've dealt with a lot of challenges, but I think we've continued to grow as a committee, which is all you can really ask for. For those who remember the AGM in 2018, where I was elected as chair, I think it's fair to say there was some uncertainty in the room about me becoming chair. But I really hope that since then, as the board, we have put some of that uncertainty to ease. And I think all the board have really been committed to doing this in the right way, doing it fairly, doing it with balance. And most importantly, we've continued that hard work that this committee has always done. It's done it for the last 40 years. It will continue to do it for the next 40 and more, which is to open up and defend the space for us as civil society here at CND. And you only have to look at how many of us are here to see how well we've done at opening up that space, okay? Without wanting to turn this into some kind of Oscar speech or something, I do want to thank people. I want to start with all the current board members, all the former board members over those years, for all their hard work and support. We all do this as volunteers, and the time that everyone puts in is amazing. So thank you. A particular thank you to the 2 deputy chairs I had during that time, Matej and also Lucia, who I'm not sure if, hey, Lucia. Thank you both so much for all your help as well. Thank you to all our colleagues and our allies at UNODC as well, including John Luke and the senior management, Joe, Regina, Linto, Doris, and everyone else at the CND Secretariat, the HIV section, the Prevention Treatment section, and of course, the Civil Society Unit, Mirella, Billy, and everyone else at the team. Thank you for everything that you've done to help us out. I also want to thank Anne and IDPC for allowing me to do this in their time. It's been giving me the time and the freedom to do this work. And also a huge thank you to all of you as VNGOC members for your support, your participation, your engagement, the interest you show in this committee, the commitment you show to this committee. It's been a real pleasure getting to know many of you better, getting to know some of you for the first time, through this role as well. And I've learned a lot through this time as chair. And the most important thing is, even when we haven't agreed on stuff, we have found the way forward. We've found a path forward and we've taken it, and everyone's put the interest of the committee first. And that's all we can ever ask. Finally, the final thanks is a huge, huge thank you to Sarah. She is the star in the center of the solar system. The flowers did look nicer, but I've been kicking them accidentally for the last half hour. So apologies for that. I'll buy you some new ones if they're really ruined. Just to finish up, just to say we're really lucky to have Sarah. We really are. And when you talk to other NGO committees, you really appreciate how lucky we are to have Sarah here. And only when you're on the board do you really get to appreciate how much work goes in behind the scenes. So Sarah, really, thank you very much. So yeah, just to end from my side, before I hand over to the nominations committee, just to say that we've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. It's our presence here at CND is strong, but it can never be taken for granted. We learned that in the last few weeks when they were negotiating the modalities. You know, we have to stay strong. We have to stay alert to keep this presence that we have here. We need to keep coming together. We need to keep demonstrating the added value that we bring to the CND and to other forum. I wish the new board, whoever it may be, I wish you all every success, and you can count on my help and my support when I'm sat down there as a member in good standing. Thanks, everyone.
Step up and let the nominations committee come up.
Okay, thanks everyone for your patience. So we're going to go through the votes of the board now. So these are the members of the nominations committee. We've been working for a year now, just to put everything together. So Amy, Dave Borden, me from IDPC, Olivia Delaire from CSSDP, Ricardo Villas-Boas from FEBRACT, Sanaula Rasso from PO, Stacey Jolie-Jones from STAND, Steve Rolls from Transform, Stig-Erik Stohem from Actis. So our role, as you know, has been to make sure that every member is in good standing and every candidate has gone through the process of being eligible. And then our other role has been to put together a slate for the elections to help ensure that there is representation within the board in terms of ideology, in terms of thematic areas covered, in terms of gender representation, in terms of geographic representation as well. So we hope that that's acceptable for all of you. Obviously, feel free to vote for whoever you'd like. We're going to present the list of candidates and the slate. The slate is a recommendation. It's you're not bound by it by any means, so feel free to vote for whomever. But for us, this is a way to ensure that the board can be as representative and balanced as possible. So, Stig-Erik, do you want to?
Okay. Yep. Yes, the candidates for chair. Okay, the candidates for chair this year are Matej Koshir, who is currently the vice chair, and Anna Dobak from European Harm Reduction Association, who is not currently on the board, but I think many people know her. Yeah. If you want to learn more about the candidates, you can look at the QR code and see their presentations, their little 2-minute speeches while we're voting. Yes, and for the deputy treasurer, we apologize that there was a little mix-up with the ballots. They should now be okay, and we have been assured that the online vote was correct. So we don't have to worry about that. This election should be able to go as planned. So the candidates were Alexandre da Silva from Conectados Pela Vida, from Brazil, Arumugam Sankar from Empower, Augusto Nogueira from ARTM, Balkis Binti Muhammad Kasim from from a Green Crescent, Malaysia, Barbara Hasty from the Walther Global Palliative Care and Supportive Oncology, Eloisa Brogiato Matter from IAHPC in Brazil, Memory Usaman from Rwanda Youth Impact, and Raquel P. Tolentino from Association of Anti-Drug Abuse Coalitions of the Philippines. Again, the QR codes will lead you to their presentations, so you can look at that. And if you don't use the QR codes, you can still go into the Vienna NGO Committee website and you will find the presentations there, in case you haven't watched them already. And the candidates for Deputy Secretary are, again, Arumugam Sankar from Empower, and Balkis Binti Muhammad Kasim from Green Crescent in Malaysia, Barbara Hasty from Walther Global Palliative Care and Supportive Oncology, Penny Hill from Harm Reduction Australia, Memory Usaman from Rwanda Youth Impact, and Raquel P. Tolentino from the Association of Anti-Drug Abuse Coalitions of the Philippines.
Okay, so the nominations committee is us. Sorry, let me just check that out. Oh, that's it. There's no slide of the. Yeah, there is no slide of the slate. Okay, so I'm going to present the slate going back to these slides because we don't have a specific slide for that, which is fine. So in terms of the slate that is recommended by the Vienna NGOC Nominations Committee for the chair, our slate includes Matej Koshir from UTRIP. Then for deputy treasurer, the slate includes Heloisa Mata from IAHPC in Brazil. And for the deputy secretary position, we recommend Penny Hill from Harm Reduction Australia. Again, a recommendation, not binding, but we feel that this would create a balanced board. So we're now going to proceed with the vote. Yep. So we are going to start with the chair position. So please bring your ballot for chair only at this stage. Do you want to?
Sometimes they're a certain color, but don't say that because
No. If you have proxies, please bring your proxy as well at the same time. Chair only.
We can start counting it while they're.
For those who haven't voted yet, please vote for chair
Anybody
only.
left? Any outstanding?
Anyone voting for chair still? Last chance. Yes, yes.
Milka, come on.
Come on,
Only chair, one at a time.
Only chair. Last call for chair ballots. Ballot will be closing in 30 seconds.
Gina.
Come on.
I don't know why they give me this job. I hate it. I'm so stressed.
You could put them all, you could take them out the
Yeah,
envelope.
yeah,
You don't-
yeah.
They don't have to
I
be in
put
the
them all
envelope.
in. I thought I was supposed to close them.
No,
Put them
no.
all in and then I
No,
close
you
them
can
out.
take them all
Have
out.
you never been here before? It's your
Doesn't
first
seem
time.
like
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, the ballot is closing in 5, 4, 3, it's closed.
Thanks, everyone. So give us a few minutes so that we can count them. Then we're going to announce the results and then we'll move on to the next position.
Okay, the results are in. I can announce that we have 155 ballots in the room, or in total, 100 in the room and 55 online. And can I just see the exact number? 134 votes. Matej Koshir is elected new chair of the Vienna NGO Committee.
Thanks and congrats, Matej. We're going to invite all of the elected members of the board to come afterwards and give us a speech if they want to. But we're going to proceed with all the elections first. Okay, so we're going to proceed with the second position, which is, if the laptop enables me to move. Okay, so we're going to move on to deputy treasurer. Can we have the box, guys? So wait for a second. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to deputy treasurer. So if you could bring your ballots now. Deputy treasurer only, please. Last call for deputy treasurer. Please bring your votes. All right, last call, everyone. Please bring your votes to deputy treasurer. We're going to close it soon.
Last call. Last call for deputy treasurer.
All right, everyone, we're about to close. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's closed now. Thank you, everyone.
Should I announce the, should we state the numbers of the votes? Okay. So the results on the deputy treasurers is in. There were 151 ballots cast, and with 71 votes, Augusto Nogueira was elected.
All right, congratulations, Augusto. So we're now going to move on to the next vote, which is for Deputy Secretary. So please bring your ballots for Deputy Secretary, and that's the last vote. Thank you, everyone. Last call for everybody for Deputy Secretary. Please bring your votes.
Yeah, they're coming. They're in a.
You guys, everyone.
Clear the aisles, please. Clear the aisles.
Thank you.
Last call. Last call. Oh shit! I need to vote. Who am I voting for?
The slate was Penny. Penny.
Last call, please. We're
Last
gonna
call.
close.
The ballot is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's closed.
right, everyone, can you please take a seat? We're going to announce the last candidate.
Okay, so the result of the final vote with 151 votes cast, the winner is Penny with 69 votes.
So I think that's it from the nominations committee. Thanks everyone for your patience and your cooperation. We're now going to step down and we're going to call on our lovely new board to come here and yeah, take over. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue. Thank you very much. On behalf of new elected board, at least for some of us with new positions, some new people, some already re-elected. Yeah, re-elected. Yeah. So thank you very much for your trust. I believe that we will do our work as good as possible I don't know how to continue with the important work. I'm taking this opportunity also to thank Heloisa, who was a board member in the last 2 years. Heloisa, thank you very much for your work as a board member. And me as new chair, I'm definitely stepping in a big shoes of Jamie's, but he promised me that he will help us as much as possible, at least in this transition period, to get used to it, used to this position. But I had an opportunity in the last 3 years to learn from him and from other board members. So I think it will be quite smooth transition with the new positions and new board. So thank you very much for your trust, and let's continue with our work. We have to elect or decide about the new nomination committee for the next period. So we need volunteers again to be part of nomination committee. So please. Okay, just say your name. I'm sorry, I don't know everybody in this room, so please.
My name is Nate Landau. Landau.
Isabel Pereira from De Justicia, Colombia.
John Walsh from the Washington Office on Latin America, WOLA.
Christina.
Emmy, I'm still from Drug Free America.
Rogers. Oh, Rogers. What do I do?
I did already.
No, I was suggesting somebody.
Yeah, you saw me, so I just.
I was suggesting somebody.
Okay, Amy, not Rogers. Huh?
Yeah.
We need at least 3, so we already have a good number. So next.
Amy King, Fields of Green for All.
Okay. More.
I'm Rogers from Uganda.
Rogers. So it's already a good number. Huh? And
Connor Cabasi from Smart Approaches to Marijuana.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have the biggest group in nomination committee. So thank you very much for your interest. In the previous years, I remember it was quite difficult to get members of the nomination committee. So this is also a huge improvement and a positive improvement. Okay, thank you very much. I hope we will list everybody interested. If not, just let us know after a while if you're not, if you don't get any emails from us. So we will take make sure that you all interested are involved in activities of nomination committee. And the last item of this AGM is any other business. So is there anything? Okay, we have.
First, I want to say thank you to Jamie for doing an amazing job and to the other members who have ended their contribution to the committee. I wanted to speak about, and I know it's a sensitive subject, but during the WHO informal, and again, to the committee, thank you for making the informals possible. I really feel that it is an amazing opportunity for so many of the NGOs to have that experience, those explanations. So with all of that in mind, we had a very large WHO conglomerate, UNAIDS, Office of Human Rights, and many of the questions did not get answered. The reason that I'm bringing this up is that I felt like in a case where we must prioritize, I feel like the ECOSOCs who are accredited should be considered for priority in these opportunities. And I know that may sound, but without the accreditation, no one else is in these halls but for those temporary passes. And I make this point because yesterday, 2 organizations who were recently accredited, who have spent 5 years under the NGO process trying to get that accreditation, did not even get to pose their questions. And I felt that was a little unfair, and I'd like to see if we can have a discussion about how to improve that.
Okay, thank you very much. After the informal dialogue with UN agencies, we already discussed as a board about solutions. So we would definitely propose that this informal dialogue with more UN agencies should be longer than 1 hour. So we can take more questions discussed during the meeting. But nevertheless, all questions submitted will be answered anyway. also through email. So you will get, everybody will get answers, and not just those organizations which submitted the question, but also all other organizations will be informed about answers by UN agencies. Definitely the policy of Vienna NGO Committee is always not to limit only to ECOSOC status, but to offer space for all NGOs, all members, especially members, but not even members of Vienna NGO Committee, to ask questions and being involved in discussions, informal dialogues with different UN bodies. So we will keep it this as a policy also in the future, because we think that all civil society organizations deserve to be involved in these processes, to be able to ask and discuss with UN agencies. And so we can only promise that we will do our best to involve as many civil society organizations as possible in the process, and offer as many opportunities for you to discuss at the UN level, within civil society organizations, different side events, different events as speakers. So this will be a continuation of from previous mandate. Thank you very much. I hope this is a correct answer. Musa, yes.
Yes, first of all, I would like to thank Jimmy and other board members for being with us all the past, and wishing you all the best for the next 2 years and couple of years. I have another question which has been discussed before, and also any others business, but my question is regarding to the New York NGO Committee. Is there any new recommendation from the board that us as a member of Vienna NGO Committee to be also a member of the New York NGO Committee? Or there is any objections regarding to that? Please explain this to us. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that AGM already discussed this issue. So it also, there was a conclusion. So we already decided about that. But definitely we are going to continue with a collaboration with New York NGO Committee, because we think this is an added value to Vienna NGO Committee. But definitely Vienna NGO Committee is one and only, a kind of umbrella for global civil society organizations in the field of drug policy. But as we collaborate and we initiated a lot of working groups in different regions, we will definitely continue collaboration with New York NGO Committee. As much as possible, everything in to improve situation of civil society organizations. That is the main focus. Yeah, Mirella from UNODC. Please,
yes, I know that nobody wants to hear something more, but I'm so impressed by the professionalism of the way this election has been conducted, and want to take the opportunity, yes, to congratulate the committee that did this, and congratulate the newcomer to the board, and to say, as UNODC Civil Society Unit, we will continue to work very closely to you, also because we share the same project officer. And again, I mean, I didn't say it before, but also I want to thank Sarah, who is fully a member of the Civil Society Unit. I think it's a unique thing that in the UN, that you have one person who is both wear two hats. She is the project officer of the Vienna NGO Committee, and she is also the staff of the Civil Society Unit. And we should continue to ensure that this is happening, and in the sense that also to try to raise funds to be able to continue to keep this position. This is very important for the future. And yeah, I think it's quite late. We can go all for a drink. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no budget for parties, so the only party was last night. So in the city hall on account of mayor of Vienna. We don't plan any after party. Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other issues to discuss today? Okay, then let's celebrate, take some photos, and safe travel back home tomorrow. And those who have also side events, good luck with side events, and especially with attendance, which is always an issue on Friday. So I hope you will have enough people in your rooms. So thank you very much again. And thanks again for the trust. We will do our best in the next Monday. Thank you.